Good afternoon and welcome to Lariat TV News Today. I'm Riley Sievers.
And I'm Bailey Bramer. Thanks for joining us.
Baylor announced on Thursday the university has ended its 4-month search for a new Title IX coordinator. In an email to the Baylor community, President Linda Livingstone announced that Dr. Laura Johnson will take on the position starting June 11th. Johnson will be the university's third Title IX coordinator in the last 2 years. She currently serves as the Title IX coordinator at Georgetown College in Kentucky and will be replacing Baylor's interim Title IX coordinator, Maureen Holland, who temporarily took office after Kristen Tucker's resignation. In the email to the community members, Livingstone said Baylor will continue to provide the full complement of Title IX services ahead of Johnson's arrival to campus.
The Baylor community is remembering former First Lady Barbara Bush as news came that she passed away in her Houston home on Tuesday evening. Mrs. Bush was 92 at the time of her death and had revealed that she would not be seeking additional medical treatment just days before she passed away. Upon hearing the news, Baylor President Dr. Linda Livingstone praised Mrs. Bush for serving the country with exemplary integrity and compassion and said she will be keeping the Bush family in her prayers. In her time as a public figure, Barbara Bush dedicated her life to promoting family literacy in the United States. Her volunteerism earned her an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree from the university in 2002 after serving as a guest lecturer at Baylor's President's Forum lecture series. There will be a private funeral service Saturday at Houston's St. Martin's Episcopal Church. The public can pay their respects Friday from noon to midnight at that same church.
This past Tuesday marked the 5-year anniversary of the tragic West Fertilizer Company explosion, which happened just 11 miles north of Waco in 2013. The explosion killed 15 people, injured 260 more, and damaged or destroyed more than 150 buildings. The town of West has been rebuilding ever since, and Baylor students have been involved with the repairs since the blast happened. In 2013, Baylor dedicated Dia del Oso to the families affected by the explosion, renaming the annual day off Dia del West and raising money to aid the town in their time of need. West Mayor Tommy Muska said the city is almost done rebuilding, and he has not forgotten the Baylor students that rushed to his town's aid.
One Baylor Bear braved the weather on Monday and completed the Boston Marathon in the coldest conditions ever recorded for the race. Junior Baylor business fellow and Waco native Ridley Holmes was involved in several athletic teams throughout high school, including cross country and football. But it was only once he came to Baylor that he found his passion for running. The Boston Marathon is one of the most competitive running competitions, not only in the United States, but across the world. Boston's weather on Monday was windy, wet, and 38 degrees, and a number of top runners dropped out after being lashed by the wind and rain. Holmes persevered and completed the race in 3 hours and 6 minutes. He has high hopes for the next year and will continue to train for the 2019 Boston Marathon throughout the coming year.
Baylor has a new student body president, and LTVN sat down with Hannah Causey as she talked about how her late stepfather encouraged her to attend Baylor.
I applied to 8 schools and Baylor was my last choice, and a few weeks after he passed away, we visited Baylor for the first time. And you know when people say you'll feel like home when you walk on the right campus, or you'll get that feeling. I was like I was just going through a really hard time after, and then like when I walked on Baylor's campus and visited, like I obviously didn't want to go. It was still kind of like, I don't know, my whole world kind of changed after that. And then like coming here, like I realized like this is why he loved the school so much, and that's why he would always kind of plant that in our minds, is like he wanted this to be the community that raised my sister or myself.
You'll hear more of our interview with Causey in next Wednesday's edition of Lariat TV News Today.
The 2015 National Survey on Drug Use and Health found that 6.4 million Americans abuse controlled prescription drugs. Baylor police are taking measures to ensure Baylor isn't a part of that number. Beginning Monday, BUPD will be collecting old or expired prescription drugs in a lockbox to be safely destroyed. The National Drug Take-Back Day is Saturday, April 28th. That event allows community members to responsibly dispose of their old or unused prescriptions. Last year, National Drug Take-Back Day helped dispose of over 70,000 pounds of prescription drugs in Texas alone. If you have old prescription drugs that you are looking to dispose of, drop them off at the Baylor Police Department or stop by the Spate Avenue parking garage between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday, April 28th.
Baylor brought a student favorite back to Dia del Oso this year.
LTVN's Meredith Aldis has the story when we come back.
It's not just a school to me, it's home. Everyone's there to help you and to see you succeed.
Challenging.
Challenging.
Like, I'm here, I can do this.
Friends.
Friendship.
Relationships.
There's people that know you and people that are there for you around every corner.
It's the shared experience. Rigorous. Growth.
Transformative.
Tradition.
Tradition.
Faith.
Faith.
I've loved every second of it. It's family.
It's home.
It's Baylor.
We kid you not, the Baylor Chamber of Commerce brought back goats from the U Petting Zoo again this year for Dia del Oso for students to enjoy goat yoga. Our Meredith Aldis has the story.
This unconventional variation of yoga has spread across the nation. It's goat yoga.
I'm so excited. This is amazing.
The practice of yoga while goats amble around and sometimes cuddle or hop on people's backs was born in Oregon. Lainey Morris is the founder of Goat Yoga, and according to her website, goat yoga is not a cure for cancer, but is an unbelievable distraction from politics, work, stress, sickness, or depression.
You know, hanging out with some goats is pretty cool.
Adelie Wu, the yoga instructor during Dia del Oso, agrees that goat yoga has therapeutic benefits.
Everyone loves the goats, so obviously it's bringing in some type of love and care from the heart and stuff like that.
Upward goat on a downward dog is not uncommon while practicing goat yoga. While many students followed Wu, others took a break from their poses to cuddle with baby goats.
I did not do a lot of yoga. I did a lot of looking at goats and petting goats, which I think is fine. That's why I'm here. No, I've never even done yoga before, but I'm taking a class next semester.
After finishing the 5K fun run with her husband, Dr. Linda Livingstone stopped by Goat Yoga to enjoy the goats.
I have not ever seen goat yoga. It is quite an experience.
For Lariat TV News Today, I'm Meredith Aldis.
Women are more active within their church communities and more likely to believe in heaven and hell, according to information from the Pew Research Center. The study found that in the United States, 60% of women say that religion is very important in their lives, while only 40% of men agree. Some of the theories suggest that biological, physiological, and social factors affect this gap. The study also showed that this difference is primarily in Christianity and that other religions show equal religiosity between genders. In contrast, within Muslim populations, men generally attend religious services more than women do. On an international scale, the gap is still apparent, with 83.4% of women identifying with a faith group compared to only 79.9% of men.
Baylor will be celebrating a mini homecoming in April this weekend with the first Green and Gold weekend. The schedule will feature concerts, exhibits, and sporting events. The Baylor football team will be having its annual spring scrimmage game at McLean Stadium on Saturday. Delta 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 will be hosting a concert for Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors to benefit their philanthropy St. Jude. This weekend will also be a chance for alumni to come back to campus and reconnect with the Baylor community. More information is available on the Baylor website.
Inclusion and free speech are likely to remain priorities for college campuses across the nation as a majority of university presidents report supporting these issues on their own campuses. A study by the American Council on Education recently found that 96% of university presidents said it is important for colleges to allow students to be exposed to all types of speech, even if they may find it offensive or biased. The study also found that 98% of respondents find promoting an inclusive society to be extremely or very important to democracy. While the university leaders remained optimistic about the state of inclusion and free speech on their own campuses, most respondents said they believe the relationship between campus inclusion and free speech will get worse nationally.
It's that time of year again. Local nonprofit World Hunger Relief hosted its 8th annual Farm Day on Saturday, complete with goats and games. World Hunger Relief, sometimes referred to simply as the Farm, is an organic farm that seeks to alleviate food insecurity and provide for the local community. Their annual event was free and open to the public and included informational sessions, games, live music, and a petting zoo. Joel Scott, the farm's Director of Advancement and Outreach, said he wanted attendees to be aware of what the organization is doing for the world and desires for the community to join them in helping alleviate hunger.
Don't you miss football season?
Absolutely, and we don't even have to wait long to see what next year's team is going to look like. We've got more coming up next.
It's not just a school to me, it's home.
Home.
Everyone's there to help you and to see you succeed.
Challenging.
Challenging.
Like, I'm here, I can do this.
Friends.
Friendship.
Relationships.
There's people that know you and people that are there for you around every corner.
It's the shared experience. Rigorous. Growth.
Transformative. Tradition.
Tradition.
Faith.
Faith.
I've loved every second of it. It's family.
It's home.
It's Baylor.
Baylor football has its green and gold game Saturday at 12 p.m. at McLean Stadium. This gives the public a first look at some of the new players on the roster. Many key players like Denzel Mims, Pooh Strickland, and Chris Platt will be sitting out of the game for various reasons, giving some of the younger, less experienced players an opportunity to step up and get playing time. This is also a chance for sophomore quarterback Charlie Brewer to build on his solid freshman campaign. The Baylor baseball team is fired up with a 3-game winning streak and is looking to add even more wins in their upcoming weekend series against rival TCU. LTVN's Elizabeth Tharp tells us more.
The Baylor baseball team dominated Arkansas Pine Bluff 14-4 Wednesday night at the Baylor ballpark, and sophomore pitcher Ryan Lekich collected a career-high 7 strikeouts to assist in the Bears' win.
I was just getting out there and attacking the zone early and let my defense work behind me, but sometimes they don't hit it and it works out for both of us. So that's all I can ask for is go out there and attack the zone.
The Bears now have 1 day off to prepare for a weekend series against TCU on April 20th, 21st, and 22nd at the Baylor ballpark.
We've had a lot of baseball here the past week and a half, so we're going to come out and practice. We're going to lift tomorrow. Maybe take it easy, just kind of ease up on their bodies a little bit. They've been kind of grinding here for a little while past week, and so we're going to go through some things, just talk about a few things in regards to what we have with TCU this weekend. We know they're going to come ready to play. They're hungry too, and it's going to be a great weekend of baseball.
For Lariat TV News Today, this is Elizabeth Tharp reporting.
The 21st ranked Baylor softball team will be hosting a 3-game series against Kansas this weekend at Getterman Stadium. The schedule has been altered because of the potential for bad weather on Saturday, so the two teams will now play a doubleheader Friday evening and a single game Sunday. The Bears are coming off a big 3-0 win over Texas on Tuesday, snapping a 4-game skid. It was the Longhorns' first Big 12 loss of the season in Austin, and Glenn Moore's team hopes to use that momentum to take down the Jayhawks. Baylor senior outfielder Jesse Scroggins has 252 career hits and is now just 1 away from tying the program record set by former Lady Bear Lindsey Cargill. Baylor men's tennis team dropped its match with 6th-ranked TCU Thursday. The Horned Frogs got off to a quick start and never looked back as they defeated the Bears 4-1. One of the few bright spots for Baylor came from freshman Roy Smith as he dominated on his way to giving the Bears their only point of the match. Baylor will be back in Waco on Sunday to face number 15 Texas. Baylor women's tennis had 4 big wins last weekend. 2 of those were against Big 12 foes West Virginia and Iowa State, putting the Bears back at the 500 mark in conference play. They have a big road match Friday against the University of Texas that could push them to 5-4 in Big 12 play. That match begins at 5 p.m. in Austin. Baylor equestrian team is competing in the National Collegiate Equestrian Association Championship this week at the Extraco Event Center in Waco. On Wednesday, Baylor's Western squads both advanced to the quarterfinal round, beating South Carolina and UT Martin. Thursday, the Bears faced Auburn in a whole team competition. Auburn was too much for Baylor, though, as the Bears fell 12-3. Baylor will turn their attention back to its Western teams as they will continue to compete for championships and horsemanship and reining on Saturday. And that's sports on this Green and Gold weekend.
Thanks for watching Lariat TV News today. We'll see you on Wednesday for our last newscast of the semester.
Have a great weekend.